joining a barbecue tour, so come with us.
So we have, actually, this is our pit room. I get here about maybe 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning on weekdays. I work later on weekends because I actually cater to weddings and stuff like that when we do stuff on Saturday evenings. Just lay it to the side is fine. On the other side. There you go. We actually have 3 cookers this size. We have another one that's about 3/4 of this size. This on the trailer we do for our big events. We used to do floor for about 5,500 people. AFL up in Duncan is about 3,500 people. We cater for Michelin, BMW. Basically, if you have 10 people or more, we'll bring food to you. Anything 85 or more, I'll stay for 2 hours and help keep the line full. If we need to bring more people, we do. We also actually have another cooker that's about half this size that we pull out of the dock upstairs. We sell about 800 smoked turkeys at Thanksgiving. I'm pretty much just camping out all week, throwing turkeys on and off because that's just Thanksgiving morning. We do 800. Basically, like I said, I get here early in the morning on weekday mornings and I'll load this up. This is our chicken and rib cooker. And it will hold about, so yesterday I cooked about 50 racks of ribs and about 64 halves of chicken. Right now I've got pieces on, I've got a wedding this evening, and I'll probably have to do a 3rd round of ribs because I couldn't fit as many on there. I usually set it at about 250 degrees, 300 depending on how much I have on there. Chicken and ribs cook for anywhere between 2 hours to 3 hours, like I said, depending on how much I have on there. We use the same rub on all our meats. Even the brisket, I cook that usually early in the week. We do briskets on Thursdays, but I'll throw them on with the chicken and ribs. This is our butt cooker. We cook our pork shoulders overnight. We don't have any on there right now because we're not open on Sundays, but we'll load it. Someone will come in tomorrow, load it, usually around noon, and we'll take them off 8:30, 9 o'clock the next morning. And we'll wrap them in foil, put them inside in our warmer, and they'll let us sweat and loosen up the meat a little bit. We can usually put about 80 pork shoulders, depending on how big they are on that. It's got the same shelving set up and everything. The fire rods we use hickory, as you can see our wood pile out there. We use hickory on that, basically what it does is the flame is natural gas. We use natural gas to heat the wood up. I usually let coals build up in the bottom, and that'll heat up the barrel itself, and then I will throw wood on top of the coals after I get done loading it. I'll let the temperature get back up a little bit from the doors being open, but the barrel will heat up, and once I set wood on the coals, the smoke actually goes through those vents. We have an evap system. The temperature is regulated by that, and there's a fan that pulls the smoke around. The back, that pipe, smaller pipe on the back left-hand corner of the smoker, actually goes down into the smoker to about here, so the smoke can circulate before going back out and up. So it gets pretty smoky sometimes, depending on the wind, but it's not really hard. You throw meat on the cooker and let it sit, and then take it off when it gets done. But we are family owned. We do a lot of different things out of this one store. We actually have 4 stores in the area. All the meats are smoked here. So Monday and Tuesday I'll do 1 round. The rest of the week I'll do 2, sometimes 3 rounds. And we'll send those out to the stores twice a day just to keep everything fresh. They usually make their own sides unless it's too much. All of our big ovens are here. But the catering I have this evening is like 150, and I'll go by myself and serve those. I can serve up to 300 people by myself. Small company. We don't have a lot of people that work for us, but the people that do, we kind of work hard. Everybody's treated like family, even if they haven't known them for a long time. But we try to work with community things like the Gateway project that kind of help people get back on their feet. We're a bridge to help them kind of get back to working and stuff when they can't, give them a second chance pretty much. Several of those people work here and some of our other stores. But with the history that our owner, Wayne Preston, had, people kind of gave him a second chance. He actually had a woodworking and a metal business in the place up there. He went bankrupt, ended up having to live in the front of this building. It's actually an apartment. It's our gym now. We have weight machines and everything. But one time, the guy that walked by, Zach, is his son. But at one time, him and his family lived up there. Basically started on the side of the road. We actually have the grill still out back that he had. I wouldn't put anything in it now. It's just that rusty. But he started selling on the side, and he went to Brookwood Church at the time. Basically went to some business owners in the area. Said, "Hey, I have this idea. Would y'all be willing to pay for the building next to us to help get me started?" So they did that, never asked for any money back. So he's kind of built it off of that kind of thing. We're here to help people out. We keep our costs low by keeping things simple. When people spend $7.50 a plate at their wedding, they can pay for a nicer event venue. So we go to all these new barns that are popping up. The one I'm going to today is the one, it's all the way out, almost Lawrence, it's Lawrence County, but it's Fountain Inn, Bellevue Meadows. But Aurora Farms, I think, up in Greer, that's where I'll be on Thursday. And we're actually one of the only barbecue places that are allowed to do service loft connected to the Peace Center, run by the Peace Center in downtown. I believe we're the only barbecue place that's allowed to actually go in there and cater. But we've been around a long time. The business has. I think I actually started doing catering, so I worked at CarMax part-time back then, back in 2001. But GE, all the companies around here know our owner because he did metalworking and stuff like that. Helped out with them when his business went under. He started working part-time just here and there with these companies, those owners. So it's a way to get his name out, and most of them still use us today. We stay busy, get busier during certain times of the year. We'll see what football season holds.
Oh yeah, maybe we ought to step out here.
Yeah.
What kind of amount of meat are you doing a week here now?
Right now, the chicken and ribs have been coming up. I've actually been selling out. The 51 racks that I took off at noon yesterday sold out before we closed last night. But we are doing about, I want to say 60 something butts a night. So it's getting back to normal. The caterings are the big part that we missed. I mean, when everybody was doing the to-go boxes and stuff like that, the business, everybody kept coming in picking up their stuff like normal. But the catering business, because of weddings and stuff, nobody could hold events. But now all those that got rescheduled are starting to come back around. So we're actually, that's why we have the now hiring signs, because we need help doing those. But it'll even out. We'll get back to going. Like I said, football season, it kind of depends. But if people don't actually go to games, it might actually end up being more busy for us because people are going to want to get their stuff at home. So it'll be interesting to see. So y'all have any questions? Are you good? All right.
We're going out this way, then we'll join you all. Thank you for letting us join you too.
Okay.
We're here at the barbecue restaurant again. I just want you to know that we're close to Salisbury. Brown Company in Salisbury did this refrigeration unit, but I wanted to show you back here some of the other things that they do when they barbecue. There's a lot of grills out here. This one goes to the big places right over here. If they have 500 or more, and these smaller grills. They bought a restaurant up here and this right here. Some of the things in there are from that restaurant. But and then this is the catering van right there that they're going to use tonight. But you heard a couple of things in here about the fellow who was the pit master here, and he talked a little bit about ministry, and so we're going to talk with him a little just more about how this is a ministry. So come on back in. Yeah, 300 to 500 people watch this video. Now, you mentioned a couple times about the history of Wayne, who did this, and how much you all do in the community. Tell me, now I know you're an ordained minister. Tell me how this is a ministry to what you're doing.
I have a degree in youth ministry and student ministry, and the churches that hire somebody with an undergrad degree really aren't big and have a budget enough to pay a full-time youth pastor. So I was doing it part-time and started here. And basically the high schoolers that we hire here, because we don't have a huge budget here as well, we hire a lot of high schoolers, part-time workers, college students. They're in and out so much, but I take them with me on caterings, things like that. It gives me time to talk to them in the car about stuff that's going on. We talk out here while we're loading the cookers about things that are going on. And I just felt like I could do more of a ministry by working side by side with a lot of the students. Because when the student walks into a church, they kind of feel like a lot of student pastors have to say certain things. When you hear it outside the walls of the church, and you hear somebody talk about their faith and talk about how it impacts them, and talk about how faith can impact real life while you're out in real life, it seems to have more of an impact and stick with.
They expect you when you're in the church,
right?
But when you're working on barbecue, they don't expect you to talk about the faith.
It catches more and it seems more real to them.
And you mentioned something about this kind of being a family owned, but there's more of a family feel here.
Right, because we are here sometimes really long hours. Like I said, in Thanksgiving we do so many churches. A lot of us are, me and the owners and some of the other managers are just here overnight pretty much. And like I said, since they treat us like family, we got to do stuff together. The owners will actually take us out to eat as a company. We'll go do stuff. We have a Christmas party at the Poinsett Club downtown. We've done stuff where we go to sporting events, things like that. But when you live life with people, the food, obviously we're in the food industry, so we're a little bit pickier about, where we go and what we eat. But we don't mind, the owners know they don't mind spending money on stuff because they know that when you're sharing a meal, when you're spending time together like that, it causes because of their faith is the same as ours pretty much. It's an opportunity, it's investment, not only financially, but spending time as a personal investment into the people that work here's lives. And some of these people need that more than others. We've got people here, like I said, work through the Gateway in Greenville that don't have dads. They actually live on campus away from their parents. They've come through drug homes. Basically, some of them are adults that just got off track. And so it's when you spend time with those people outside of work too, it just gives more of an impact, more time, more of an investment into helping those people get back on the right path and introducing them to a faith that either they never had or got away from.
And are looking for a family here, and a faith family. It's built on faith. You mentioned God several times.
Right.
Degree in youth ministry, and also ordained minister and things like that. The name of this program, by the way, is Where in the World is Reverend Rod or Reverend Kerr? You're actually looking at him right here. This is Reverend Kerr. This is Chris, my son. He was an ordained minister. I graduated from North Greenville, just right down the street over here. And I thought it would be good for you all to meet the other Reverend Kerr in the family that you maybe have not met, and especially to see that you can really serve God anywhere. That missions goes outside the church, goes outside the walls, and sometimes places you don't expect. You're going to see some missionaries here. So, Chris, we're just real proud of you that you're here, proud of the work you do, and I tell you, it's quality work you do, and the food is great here, and that sells a lot. You spend as much time, I understand, creating a family ministry type of it, but you also spend a good deal of time on that food to make sure that's good. And we appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Where in the world, Reverend Rod, we've gone from Greenville, South Carolina. Now we're back at the church in Salisbury. And I wanted to talk a little bit the rest of our time today about masks. Now, our dog here, Sonny, is teaching us how to wear a mask. He's also teaching us how not to wear a mask. First of all, we don't wear it down here below our nose. And we don't wear it under our chin. And we don't really wear it hanging off one ear. Sonny tells us this is the right way to wear it. And I was thinking about masks recently and the evolution of masks that I've worn. Now, I wear this today. It's like this. A lot of people have these. These are the kinds that we have at church. The medical mask, and we have a lot of these. In fact, we've ordered over 1,000 of these masks in the last several months. But I didn't start out wearing this mask. I actually started out wearing this mask. It's an N95 mask, and it looks like this. You can barely hear me through this, but it's the one I first wore. And then I got real creative, and maybe you can get creative too. I thought of my favorite movies, and one of my favorite movies involves pirates. So I have a pirate mask that we use sometimes. Then I thought of my really favorite movie, and this is my most favorite movie. It's a Jaws mask. I don't want to wear it too long because it might scare the younger ones. But I want you to know that masks can be pretty creative. Now on Sunday mornings I wear my more formal mask, and that's how I'm going to be talking in just a little bit about the importance of wearing masks good and well and correctly. We've talked a lot about this, but I wanted Sonny to help us out wear masks. And everywhere you go, people are wearing masks. Again, we've told people that's not so much just for your own benefit, but for the benefit of those around you. That actually is a mission that you can do with everybody. But you can wear your mask, and you can see that as a mission and a ministry for those that you work with and for those that you're around. Because if I wear this mask, that tells you that I care enough about you to protect you any way I can. I could stand far apart from you. I can wear my mask. I can wash my hands. And then I could always make sure I check on my temperature to make sure that I don't have any of the symptoms that we've watched out for here at the church. That's the 4 W's. Walking 6 feet away, washing your hands, wearing a mask, and going and visiting the welcome station, the wellness stations, where we take your temperatures before you come to the building. And we will continue to do that as long as we need to, because we want to be good stewards of everything that God has given us, and that means He's given us each other. We're going to go around for the next several Sundays and take pictures of masks that are really cute, because what I say, as long as masks are fundamental, we may as well make them fun here at First Baptist. There are some creative ways to do that, and you can help us with this, by the way, too. If you have a creative mask, take a selfie of yourself and send it to me, Rod, at fbcsalisbury.org, and we'll post it either in the newsletter, or you might see it on some of these screens we have up here on Sunday morning. We'll let people know about how creative you are. We've already had some great masks, some of your schools, some of your favorite Disney characters, princesses, and we had Goofy show up last week in a mask. So there's a lot of ways to wear a mask. So just remember, if you have a creative mask, or if you see a creative mask, maybe this would be a good way to witness to people. Ask if you can take a picture of them in their mask and tell them a little bit about what it's for and who does the mask at First Baptist Salisbury. And maybe there'll be visitors. That's a good way to introduce our church, introduce Christ, introduce what we wear our mask for to people around you. So again, it's a mission that you can do wherever you are. Send those masks in. If you have a picture of them, if they're in a book, if you see one in the store, go ahead and just snap a picture of that and send it on to me. Now, to close up here, I wanted to let you know, and I want you to know that Miss Lisa is responsible for all these pictures. I made my own mask. For all of you bacon lovers, that's what this is. It's mask made out of bacon. I don't know if you want to wear this, but it seems like a good idea to me that maybe you want to eat something like this. But wearing masks is serious business. It's important business, but we want to make it as light as we can, as fun as we can, as joyful as we can, because that's what being part of the faith is all about. So, until next week, this is Rod. Where in the world is Rod? Well, Rod is right here at First Baptist Church. So, we'll see you next week.